Time to pull up a chair. We've got another great story for you today in the rLounge. You ever meet someone so salty they could pickle an entire jar of cucumbers? Today in the rLounge, this guy's ex-wife takes the crown for being the most sour in the bunch. My ex-wife victim blamed our daughter, and I had enough. I, 66 male. This is my first time posting on Reddit, but my girlfriend, 64 female, was nice enough to educate me on the lingo of Reddit. So it's long, but I have some backstory to help understand the situation, and I'm also just trying to process my emotions at the same time. I'll label the different parts to help you in case you want to skip to the petty part. Backstory. So to start off, I married my ex-wife, 60 female, Pickleface, in 2002, when our daughter, 24 female, Princess, was about to turn 2. Pickleface was married once before and had 2 kids, and I was married once before and had 4. We raised our Princess as an only child since her siblings were already adults. Princess was also a little miracle since the doctors told Pickleface she would never be able to have kids again. Over time, Pickleface started to become meaner and meaner to me. For the most part, I let it go because my baby girl needs her mom. My first 4 children never got to have a mom, and I didn't want that to happen again. Our Princess graduated in 2019, and I got a job just before the pandemic. When the pandemic hit, I was out of a job, and Pickleface never worked, and Princess took over all financial responsibility by her own mind. At 21, she moved out and in with her boyfriend, Trent. Later on, Trent and Princess welcomed their baby boy into the world in 2022, to which Pickleface kept making our Princess upset by basically telling her she is doing everything wrong and a bad mom already. Pickleface said, "You are too young and immature to have a baby." This comment ticked me off, and even though I knew the repercussions of saying it, I said, "You had your son at 18 and daughter at 20. At least Princess waited until she was 21 and had her own place first." I suffered through her for a year, and then she made it known that she was jealous of Princess, that she was prettier and better, and that I talked to her way more than I do her. That's when she accused me of being married to my daughter and not her. That's when I decided to get a divorce. This is when I found out all those days when I was working my life away to provide for my family, Pickleface was abusing our Princess mentally and emotionally. Everything that happened in my absence came out. In the divorce, I decided I'd pay for rent for her trailer for 1 year exactly, and that's it. I was trying to give her enough time to get her life together and stop being used to me paying for everything. About Princess. In a separate matter, like me, Princess had always loved cars. She and I would pick out every Hot Wheel and Matchbox car there ever was to bring home. She would put pictures of her favorite cars on her wall, and her door would say, "Go away unless you have kittens or cars." Her dream car was a Mustang. Her favorite ones were actually the 2011 to 2014 Coupe. She had so many plans for her dream car. She saved up and worked her butt off for that dream. Everyone said she was crazy for wanting a Mustang while also wanting kids. People would tell her, "You'll want 4 doors. You're the woman in need of a family car." But my strong-willed Princess can't be talked out of her dream car. She was determined. She will find a way. Now brings me to April 27th, 2024. We were having our family reunion from my side of the family, when Princess calls me up and says, "I'm almost there, and I have something really exciting to tell you." I'm wondering what that is, but I'm already excited to see Princess and little man. When she finally says, "Look all the way to the end of the parking lot. Do you see me?" That's when I saw her standing out of the door of a beautiful 2013 Mustang Coupe with the biggest smile I have seen since she had her son. From then on, her life was basically her son and her car. She was a stay-at-home mom, and she did everything in that car. Groceries, travel, vacation, you name it. My grandson loved it too. After shopping, they would play, "Where is Mommy's car? Do you see it?" But now, here's where the story takes the turn that brings me to my petty revenge against Pickleface. In December of 2024, Princess announced she was pregnant. Everyone was excited except Pickleface. Princess and Pickleface ended up not talking much anymore in general. Catastrophe. April 28th, 2025. She had the car for 1 year and 1 day. She was excited because she drove 3 hours from home and is 4 exits away from meeting up with her mother-in-law and best friend. They were planning a gender reveal party for the baby. She didn't want to do a baby shower, so she thought a fun party with games and cake would be plenty. Princess was driving. Trent was in the passenger, and little man was in the back seat with his bear. My call log says about 1:32 p.m., Princess called me hyperventilating because she was in a bad car accident. Her first ever car accident in her life. The way my heart dropped hearing it, not knowing if everyone was okay or not. Trying not to cry, I kept calm and helped her breathe and relay some information to me. Two other drivers stopped and provided their dash cam footage to go along with my daughter's dash cam footage. First, watching the third-person view, I see my daughter driving in the left-hand lane of a 3-lane highway. There is a car in front of her and a car behind her, all safe distances. This dash cam footage is from a car in the middle lane traveling behind a semi with a trailer. The semi is coming up to pass my daughter and the two other cars. Right when the trailer of the semi is about halfway past my daughter, it begins to get over onto her. You see the back car slam the brakes and get over and out of danger. You see my daughter brake and hear the horn and see her moving to the left as fast as she can. The trailer lurched back over in his middle lane, but it was too late for my daughter. The left side of her car was in the grass and she hit debris. The car ran into the guardrail fence and rode the fence for about 13 feet until it stopped. Her car was totaled and she was pinned in. Severe back pain persisted. Trent and little man were completely unharmed. Watching her dashcam footage hit harder because of hearing everyone I love screaming in fear, especially little man. The semi never stopped. In the dashcam you see that after my daughter has crashed, the semi got into the left lane again. Reason for petty revenge. Princess went to the hospital and they determined that she and the baby were all right. But then, while she is in the hospital, Trent called me pissed. He explained to me that she tried to call her mom 3 times and no answer. She texted and no answer. So Trent tried to call her too, and no answer. Finally, after several hours, Pickleface called Princess. Princess told her what had happened, and Trent told me how Pickleface basically said, "I told you so. That car isn't a mom car. That car isn't proper. There are more important things than a dang sports car. If you were in a big SUV, this wouldn't have happened. If you didn't move to South Carolina, then you wouldn't have had to travel like that for a dang party." And the final dig that caused my princess to shut down, "If the baby dies, it's on you and your immature decisions." This conversation was before the hospital was able to verify the baby was 100% all right. I don't even know how to explain my emotions hearing that. This woman was the woman I loved? The woman I married? The woman I wanted to be old with? This is what happens. So she abused me, our daughter, and then abandons our daughter, to finally blame her for something that could have happened to anyone on the road. Petty revenge. I did a number of things. I work out of town, so I was about 8 hours away from where my daughter was. So first thing I did was call the hospital and arrange for a nurse to deliver my daughter some flowers and a teddy bear from the gift shop, and credit it to me with a card that said, "Best mom ever." Then I called the trailer park and terminated my card off their payments. Then I called the phone company and terminated a phone from my plan, starting at the end of the pay cycle. Then I called the power company and terminated my service with them from the trailer, and finally, I terminated my service with the water company as well. Lastly, I deposited $400 into the bank account for Pickleface, just to help her figure out what she will do next, because I'm not helping anymore. She called me today irate over everything I did. Simply, I called her out for her behavior. How she treated our daughter was pathetic, blaming her for a car crash, blaming her for the possibility of her baby dying. I can't even think of anything worse than that aside from physical abuse. My anger and sorrow can't even be described. While I was writing this, I found out her boyfriend, 32 male, dumped her when he found out there was no more money. Pickleface's whole family has been calling and texting me non-stop, calling me an a-hole. But I don't even care if I am one or not. I told them what she did, but they didn't care. Just offended her and agreed with her. Wrap up. Now, it's been a couple days since the event. My grandson is doing great. He talks about how he said the car is gone because he liked it, how he can't go to the park every day anymore, and fun outings with mommy to the store and spontaneous lunches at restaurants. He doesn't seem to be displaying any PTSD or nightmares of the event. Trent is trying his best to keep it together. He's beyond angry at the semi-driver and upset that this changes so much. They had to cancel the party completely due to money with the car stuff and several other things they were going to do for a little man since he is about to be 3. Mostly he is enraged because he almost lost his family. If the trailer made contact with the car, it could have ended tragically. Now Princess. Her back is messed up and constantly in pain. She refuses to take the pain meds because she is afraid of hurting her baby. Trent says he wakes up multiple times a night in a panic. She has been constantly cleaning and prepping food and cooking over-the-top meals. Trying to get her to eat in general is a battle. He had to get little man to say, "Mommy, eat with me," to get her to eat. Apparently, no matter what me and Trent say, Princess blames herself for the whole thing. She says she doesn't want to get a new Mustang, or even own one again. She doesn't want a car. She doesn't want to drive. And she has cut off everyone that says stuff like, "It's just a car. Aren't you glad your family's alive?" Yes, she is happy her family's alive, but she is also allowed to have emotions about her dream car that was totaled. I'm happy they are all alive and all right. I wish I could help my daughter more than just words and comfort. As far as my ex-wife goes, I don't want to hear from her ever again, and I hope they are able to locate the semi-driver. First, I just want to say how sorry I am that your daughter and grandson went through such a terrifying experience. I can only imagine the panic in that moment, not knowing if everyone was okay, especially with the baby on the way. You tried to be generous after the divorce. You gave her a full year to get back on her feet. But she kept taking and taking, and the moment you stopped enabling her toxicity, she flipped. Update. First of all, I actually didn't know an old fellow like me would have gotten that much attention with my first post. I won't lie, after a day or so, I thought I might have taken my petty revenge too far, but all of you guys convinced me it was long overdue to begin with. I guess it's hard to let go of people you love, even if they turn into pickle faces in the end. We've gotten so much advice on how Princess can move on in a healthy manner. Some of you liked my turtles, so they're back one last time. Princess update. Princess had her first EMDR appointment tomorrow morning. She said it sounded terrifying, but she was willing to give it a shot because she doesn't want to be afraid forever. Driving was and has always been her way to relax and have her so much joy. She used to talk about how she wished she could feel with what NASCAR drivers feel just once. It's on her bucket list too. I can't lie, it's on mine too. I hope this EMDR stuff works out so she can get that joy back. After reading my post, Princess seems to have been feeling much better in more than one way. I think it was a combination of what I said, but more importantly, her petty potato family validating her emotions. I bet she felt like she wasn't allowed to have her emotions considering the way her egg donor and incubator conditioned her in life. Baby update. Yesterday, Princess and Trent had their gender reveal. Princess was a little upset because, due to circumstances, pretty much no one in her family was able to make it. I mean, her family, but my side plus her sister. But she had a video done and was so excited to send me and everyone else the video. Princess picked up a baseball and pitched a curveball to Trent. He almost didn't hit it, but he did and blew everywhere. So little man will be a big brother to baby man. Trent update. I know I haven't talked much about this guy, but he truly is the son I never had. He's quirky, but in a good way. He treats my daughter right and makes her so happy. I'm a Southern man myself, and I didn't like his Yankee butt at all for the first month. It's no secret, he and Princess knew that. But despite me being the father-in-law from hell for a bit, he stuck with Princess and made her so dang happy. I began to loosen up, and I'm so glad I did. We're good friends now and hang out on our own sometimes when I visit. The last time I was up there, Trent, little man, and I went to a Braves game. That's where little man developed an obsession for burgers. Christmas last year, Trent asked me for my daughter's hand in marriage. He didn't have to ask me because my daughter is her own woman, but he did it because, for the most part, I'm pretty traditional. My response was, "About dang time, son." Yes, I will be paying for the wedding when it rolls around. Princess knows Trent did this, so I didn't ruin any surprises. Semi-driver update. I can't give too many details here, but we got him. The authorities didn't even try, but I told Trent about the Department of Transportation and other identifiers from a couple of our commenters. Thank you. And Trent followed up on it. He called several people and eventually got the trailer. From there, he was able to track down the driver. Now Trent is going after this guy and company. I have a good feeling about this. I hope justice gets served here. Car update. Princess is shopping for an SUV-type car. She has not given up on the Mustang dream. She said she wants to get an SUV first because she plans on getting this wagon thing for her sons to ride in instead of a stroller. She plans to make the wagon look like a car for fun. Plus, she wants more room for hauling literally anything else. After she gets settled with an SUV and has her baby, she says she will start looking for Mustangs again. But for now, she is content with her model replica of her Loretta. Whoever suggested that in the comments, thank you for that. Pickleface update. I do not have contact with her, but I heard through the grapevine that she ended up moving back in with her mother. Not only that, but apparently her sister and brother have also been living with their mother. So basically a whole bunch of pickleface people with no bridges left to burn are living together. I also heard that Pickleface found out about the gender reveal party through the grapevine and had a whole tantrum because she wasn't involved in it. This makes me laugh. But I also heard that Pickleface's mom, Pickle Jar, took Princess out of the will. Oh well, because Princess and her family are in mine, and mine will leave them plenty. And I'm planning my own funeral so Princess doesn't have to. Again, thank you everyone who commented and showed support. I do not regret ever making this post considering how much it really helped my daughter. I did get a couple of private messages from some people claiming I'm lying because it's too organized and the turtle's involvement. First of all, I don't have a reason to lie about this. Second of all, we are a family of neurodivergents. Me, Princess, Little Man, and many of my siblings and their kids. So silly organization makes us happy, and if you don't like it, then don't read it. It's awesome to hear the princess is giving EMDR a shot. Even if it sounds scary, the fact that she's willing to try shows how strong she is. And her love of driving? I really hope she gets back to that joy again someday. That NASCAR bucket list dream? I could totally see that happening. She deserves it. And Trent sounds like a real one. The fact that he stuck around through the early father-in-law vibes and won you over says a lot. And yeah, Pickleface, let her stew in her own pickle juice. Princess has real love and real support now, and that's what matters. Do you have a similar story? Share it with us in the comments below. And thank you for joining us today in the rLounge. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. Until next time. And please put your chair back where you found it.